fellow, and here he is on top of the world.
I want people to know me, I want fame, and I want to be one of the greatest legends in boxing.
I want to take this fight to prove to people how good I am. This can make history if I beat Canelo in a great fashion. I can be remembered as a great fighter.
It's been a long and sometimes bumpy road for Amir Khan since he won a silver medal at the Olympic Games at the age of 17. 12 years on, I've come to meet him in training in San Francisco as he prepares for the biggest fight of his professional career against the world middleweight champion Saul Canelo Alvarez of Mexico. For Khan, it's the latest challenge in a life that's been about much more than boxing.
Amir, you knew what you were in for when you got up this morning. How did you feel?
Yeah, I mean, couldn't sleep last night knowing that it's going to be a hard session. I've done a lot of training in my days, and this has to be one of the hardest workouts in the morning, especially when you just come out of bed like a couple of hours ago and you're in the sun, and it's deeper than a normal beach sand. You know, honestly, your leg gets stuck in there sometimes. I mean, the sand goes down half your knee. But look, it just makes you work even harder, and this is what we need. We need strong legs for this fight.
And his mum's shop was this one behind me here, and Amir used to be playing around here with other youngsters and obviously getting up to mischief. The reason I took him to the boxing gym was because he was a hyperactive kid full of energy, and all I wanted to do is just burn his energy so he's tired and he relaxes, I suppose, you know. But he enjoyed it so much, he just wanted to know when the next session was. He was 8 years old, you know. I mean, I was never pushing Amir. Amir was pushing me, in fact, to take him to the gym. I used to go work in the morning. I used to drop him off at the school with me other kids, and then my wife would pick him up from school. He'd come home, get changed, go run for about 1.5 miles, jog for 1.5 miles. I wasn't there. I wasn't telling him to do it. And he'd come home, get changed, and then go to the mosque at 5 o'clock. Then I would pick him up at 7 o'clock from the mosque and take him to the gym. That was his routine, because this is what he wanted, you know. That's what I'm saying. Some kids, you have to push and get them there. But I didn't have to push him. In fact, I think he pushed me.
Well, when he walks in the door with his father, they'd been looking for the club for 2 or 3 weeks. They couldn't find it. They went to the police station and they put him in the right direction. I can't say as I've ever seen a young lad at his age with more talent.
We was there at the Man City's ground, I think it was. So at the interval, the MCs announced, Ricky Hatton sat on such a number table, he's turned professional, he was a great amateur, and you know, he's going to be a good pro as well. So everybody's giving him a clap, and youngsters going having pictures with him and all together. Amir goes there as well, and I'm standing side of him. And I guess there's a program signed of Ricky. And he says to Ricky, he says, Ricky, you watch out for me. So Ricky looks up at him and he says, what's your name? So he says, my name's Amir Khan. This is a 12-year-old kid.
That's it, Amir! Go on, Amir! Uppercut!
It's just that confidence having in yourself, I think, you know, and this is the kind of confidence Amir had in him, you know. And I look back and think about it, and I think, you know, I could see what was going through his mind. I want to be there at the top one day.
And how much do you miss the family, your wife and your daughter in particular, when they're not here, when it gets to the crux of the camp?
Yeah, you know, I miss my family, but they all understand that, you know, I have to go away, I have to train, I've got a big fight ahead of me. So they understand, and they never really put that pressure on me. But it's very hard, you know, being a father, and you know, it's not.
I suppose at least it's always been like that, so it's not something new for you.
Yeah, it's not new. So I've always been travelling and always been busy, and this is like a routine for me to leave England, come to training camp, work out here. It just makes it that bit harder now. I've got a little girl. I think it makes it stronger when you're away from your family, because it just makes you focus on what you need to do and focus on the job. Kind of channels your energy into positive ways.
I mean, your dad has been talking about those early days when you were boxing at 11 and 12. And
yeah, I mean, I started when I was 8.
It's a long time.
And now I'm 29. It's a long time, you know, being in the sport. But, you know, I enjoy it. I'm in the biggest fights now in my career, and I'm fighting the biggest arenas in the world.
And you always wanted to make a mark over here.
Exactly, and I've done that. You know, I've come to America now, and I'm topping bills in America. I've achieved everything, most of the things I want to achieve in the sport of boxing. So I still got a few good years left in me. You know, I'm not, maybe a couple of years, a couple of more fights. A lot of people are saying I can't win this fight, and being a huge underdog going into this fight against Canelo. Canelo is a great fighter, he's a strong fighter, he's a bigger size than me. I think by beating him will just make it that bit more special, because I've been written off by so many people going into this fight. So it's something that I want to prove to them, that look, I really belong in this position and I can beat this guy.
And in a way, there are shades of 2004 when even some of the selectors were saying you're too young to go to the Olympic Games at the age of 17.
It reminds me of that now, where people are doubting me again. Fighting Canelo in this fight, it was just the same as when they said to me, I'm a young boy going to be up against men, I'm going to get beaten up, I'm not good enough to fight in the Olympic Games, and I was the only guy to qualify and win a medal, and I shocked the world, and I know I can do it again. I know it's in me. I'm just one of them fighters. I work hard, I train hard, and I know that when it's the time and the time's right, I know I'm going to get it, and I'm going to do what I need to do.
It's hard to sort of take in that you're only 17. What will you be like that first bout?
I think I will be nervous and at the same time excited as well, just to get in there, and it's going to be like dream come true for me once I step in that ring, going to Olympic Games, first fight. That's all I want.
I think a lot of people underestimate Amir, that's the thing. And you know, I think because of people thinking that he's not going to beat this guy, and I think I don't think it puts pressure on him, but I think it motivates Amir, you know, and to train even harder and to prove people wrong, really. I mean, this is exactly what happened in the Olympic Games. In fact, for the qualifiers now, and the Games, the qualifiers, nobody gave him any chance at all.
So Amir Khan, certainly a massive name to look out for in the future. Looking very, very proud. They must be the proudest parents in the country, I guess, at the moment.
And, you know, he proved everybody wrong. He came back with a silver medal.
When I landed back in London, I remember as soon as I walked off the plane and people started shouting my name, saying, Amir, can we have an autograph? And I was like, wow, people asking me for an autograph. I had never signed anything in my life. It was all new to me, just do a scribble. And so I just scribbled my name as quick as possible just to make it look quite cool. Everywhere I was going, I was just getting hounded by people, and people wanting to meet me and wish me all the best for the future and take a picture with me and have an autograph off me, and life totally changed. Yeah, this is my other baby here. So yep, I got this. It's the Z06 Corvette. 650 brake horsepower, 0 to 60, like a ridiculous speed. But
and your brother's not allowed to drive it?
He's not allowed to drive it, no, he's too young. But it's a beautiful car. It's like a limited edition one, so yeah. And the colour's nice as well.
So this is home, Amir, huh?
This is home, yeah. This is where it all happened, man. This is normally I'm a little girl. She always runs ahead of me. She knows exactly where the apartment is. All the apartments look the same from outside. As soon as I moved to San Francisco with Virgil, I got this apartment, and it was just a plain apartment first. Then the wife came in and she said, "I want you to be in a nice place, make it more homely." Yeah. So she redecorated everything for me.
Oh, brilliant.
Have you cleaned up in there?
The house is always clean. Yeah, the house is always clean. So yeah, this is it.
The dietary needs looked after.
Yeah,
all the fruit,
all the vitamins, the fruit and everything.
Yeah.
That's how, this is my diet, that's Harry's diet. All the chocolate.
I'll tell you what, I'll have Harry's diet.
Yeah, take it in. Take what you want. Yeah, take what you want.
Reports are just coming in of an explosion at Liverpool Street Station here in London.
Everyone's just asking what's happened. All we're being told is it's a major incident and the whole of the London Underground is now shut.
Your professional debut came just a few days after the London 7/7 bombings, and did that make it a difficult time to be a Muslim sports hero?
Yeah, it was a difficult time because it was my first fight. It was the biggest fight of my life, having my first professional fight. It was like my dream fight. And then I hear that the 7/7 bombings happened in London, and it was by Muslim young people. It did upset me a little bit because I just wanted to kind of, I wanted to enjoy this moment, and I couldn't enjoy this moment because of what happened in London. So what I did was I went into the fight and I sent a message across holding a British flag saying that, look, we're British, I'm a British fighter, and we should be proud to be in Britain.
A lot of people respect Amir, I mean, I do remember that day, his debut, walking in that ring, and you know something, there were so many English fans in there, and they were all rooting for Amir, and he was fighting another English guy, So really, there's that minority out there, yeah, you're going to get, a little bit of backlash from it, yes, but I think overall, to be honest with you, we didn't have an issue with it. Everybody was behind Amir and what he'd achieved for Great Britain. I think everybody appreciated it.
And at that time, you talk about the difficulty, and you now say that you get recognised and recognition and respect wherever you go. But that's been a long time coming, do you feel? I mean, I remember a piece in the Times newspaper in 2010 where you said if you were white, you'd have been a superstar. Do you feel differently now?
Oh, totally different now. I just think the way I'm getting treated now and the way I have been treated is amazing, more than I ever thought I'd be. Getting treated, I think I'm getting more love now than I ever thought I'd be getting.
As Amir Khan turned right from Bolton's Nelson Square, the traffic lights ahead were already on amber. He entered the lane for turning right, but drove his 3-litre BMW straight through and into a pedestrian whose leg was broken.
I was looking back on forums, and you used to read them yourself, I know, and there was one that said, why do we hate Amir Khan so much? And why was there so much of that around?
It was all new. It was all new to me. And being young, having nice cars, being a professional and being given a lot of money, it's kind of changed me and made me go out there and buy stuff. I mean, I wanted to buy nice cars. I've always dreamt of having a nice car or nice watches, and it's part of being young, exactly. So I always wanted that, I always wanted to just kind of experience that. And after a couple of years, I experienced it, and I thought to myself, you know what, this doesn't make me happy. It still doesn't make me happy. And what makes me happy is doing the charity work I do. So kind of look, I'm glad I went through that time. And I went through that little period because it now made me the person I am.
You've had the family around you, and that unit the whole time has been such an important part of your success.
I've had the same team. Yeah, I've had the same team from day one. I've had my family around, making sure everything's fine. They look at it from my best interest, make sure that I'm going to be happy and what's going to work for me.
Has boxing surprised you how nasty it can be?
Oh yeah, very. Yeah, it can get very nasty. I mean, boxing is a very nasty sport at times. But it's by having a good family around you to take that pressure away, and kind of sometimes, they never really showed me the bad part of it.
So all you have to do is box.
All I do is do all the training and box. They keep me away from all the politics side of it and everything else. So.
And the refueling, really important.
The refueling, yeah. So I've got my cook who lives in the same apartment. She brings all the food and everything down. So having the right protein shakes and having the right drinks and the right food, when to eat the right food. If I was in England now, I'd have my friends calling me up saying, let's go to a takeaway, let's go out. Maybe I might have been retired if I was living in England and if I was training in England, because life is so fast there.
You couldn't live the two lives, yeah.
And to live the two lives is very difficult.
The images that shocked the nation. More than 130 school children in Peshawar killed by Taliban militants.
You went to the school that was massacred by the Taliban. What is it that drives you to do that?
I think, doing a lot of charity work. I've got my own Amir Khan Foundation, and I just love helping the less fortunate people around the world. And then when that massacre happened in Peshawar, I wanted to be there and give these young kids who are huge fans of me, I want them to see me, meet me, and want to put a smile on their face.
Even in the face of advice that says you shouldn't go there, it's too dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, I was advised not to go there by a lot of people, and I said to people, I want to go there, and end of the day, look, if something's going to happen, it's going to happen. Everything's written in life.
It's very sad. I've just come from one of the students' parents' house, and the father was so sad. I mean, literally crying he was. And the main thing is they want to stop the terrorism.
When you go back to the UK, what's the one thing that you'll remember from here? What's the one thing that will stay with you?
You know, I'm just going to remember the pictures of the children I've seen. You know, on the walls, everywhere you see the pictures of the poor children who were innocent, who got killed over all this. The other kids out there have to stay strong, have to have that strong, be mentally strong, and go back to school and still carry on with their life.
And at that time, you just had your first child, so it must have been particularly poignant.
Oh yeah, it was a sad time. It was very sad when I went there, and you know, it was just shivers going through my body when I was walking in that school, just thinking days before I was there. There was innocent kids being killed, and I've got a little girl myself. Imagine her, you know, being hurt in that sense. So no, it was just a very sad time.
Has these experiences changed you?
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's all been a great learning curve for me. Everything has. From turning professional, being young, having the flashy cars, and getting in trouble for doing silly things, buying expensive watches. I mean, none of that means anything really. I mean, you know, when I travel, do all this charity work, there's a lot of people out there in the world who have nothing and are still happy with life. I'd rather just help the less fortunate people.
Amir has good press, he has bad press. I always say, don't call anybody until you've met the person.
Come on, push, push. Come on. You got it.
Just like any kid his age who has had early success, you know, there's mistakes that are made, but they were made long before I ever met him. His development as far as a fighter, where he is right now, it's a gradual development. Of course, I think he could have been much further along if we had the luxury of being together in between fights all the time. But we don't have that luxury, so I definitely know he's more cerebrally trained this day than he was when he came. He understands boxing on a higher level.
And yet you're convinced he would have been even better had he based his whole life here in Oakland or around here?
Well, I know he would have been better if he'd, you know, say we were in the same city and we were able to work together in between fights. That's without a doubt.
I moved to San Francisco to the Bay Area, and Virgil totally has changed my whole boxing style. He's changed in a sense where he's not taught me new things to do, but he's made me understand everything I need to do. So for example, what I need to work on is sticking to a game plan, but when you stick to a game plan, you have to understand what the game plan's about. You can't just throw any shot when you want, or you can't just throw combinations without thinking, because and you always have to remember there's a punch coming back. So that's something I used to forget. I used to always let my punches go, but always forget that the punch is going to be coming back. And that's why I used to make mistakes. So with Virgil, he's a very good technician in that sense, where he'll tell you exactly what you need to do, what you shouldn't do in a fight, and how you should focus and stick to the game plan.
Good. Rick. Good.
In your experience of working in a number of sports, you've told me your background is in rugby league. What sort of an athlete is he?
He's kind of like a Ferrari. So he's fast, you know, and he can handle the corners pretty well. So he's not a monster truck. That'd be a bigger, kind of slower slugger. No, he's a Ferrari. So yeah, he's pretty quick.
People say, oh, he's got a bad chin, he's got a bad this, he's got a bad that. I say, you want to get in ring with him? Try and see if you find out whether his chin is bad, find out whether he can box or not. I mean, the kid can box.
Even the stretching, the cool down, it's all pain. It's never easy. But this is what we chose to do. This is what I chose.
Every time there's a challenge for me, I can see the way he trains. He trains completely, you know, puts 150% into it. He's committed. He wants to be the best. And I really do think the hunger's there. I can see the hunger that he wants to beat Canelo.
He's toweling off now, taking the bandages off. First sparring session since he began this training camp. We weren't allowed in, none of the media were allowed in, of course, because Virgil Hunter's very keen to keep it all as a closed shop. But how did it go?
It went really well. Virgil was very, very pleased, considering it was his first sparring session. He thought we'd maybe do the 3 rounds, 4 rounds, but he ended up doing 5 because Virgil was happy with it, you know, and he did really well. And the guy who he was sparring with, he's no dummy, you know, he's one of the contenders out there, you know, for the big fights, and he did really well against him.
Yeah, and I saw as I walked back in, Amir sort of put the fist up like that, as if he felt good about it.
He did, you know, he did. I mean, the fighters know when they've had a good session, a training session and good sparring session. When they do spar, that's when they realise, yeah, all the hard work what we're putting into it is paying off.
Yeah. And now coming up, Canelo Alvarez, which we spoke about at the beginning. First of all, who was keener on the fight, you or Virgil?
I was keen for that fight.
Initially, I didn't like the fight, justifiably so. You know, it's size difference, you can say inactivity, and you know, I mean, why, for what?
So what was it, who was it, in the end, that convinced you?
Well, actually, it was Amir, when I asked him why he wanted the fight.
Having this fight, this is a global fight. This is not only a fight which is big in England, but this is a fight that's big all around the world, and by winning this fight, we'll just make history.
We had Ricky Hatton's brother fought Canelo, and he went 12 rounds with him. And if he can go 12 rounds with him, I'll bet that Amir can go 12 rounds with him.
Amir has never been an underdog. The only time he was an underdog was once before, and that was at the Olympic Games. He was an underdog, and he proved everybody wrong. And he's an underdog on May 7th, you know, and he's going to prove everybody wrong again.
These are the fights that make history. By me going up a weight, fighting Canelo, who's a monster, who's a tough guy, and he's a big puncher, he has speed, he has power, he has everything. Do I really need to take this fight? Do I really need to take it? The only reason I'm taking it is because I want to make history and I know I can beat him.